Depression without shame is practically impossible. I want to speak to you, the person that's watching this right now, that is ashamed that something may be wrong with them, that you're disconnected from life, that everything on the outside seems like it should be okay. You've got a loving family, perhaps you've got a great job. Everything on the outside seems fine, but on the inside you're so disconnected from life and you feel broken and you haven't told anyone. You felt ashamed that you shouldn't feel this way. Shame is the fear of vulnerability. Brene Brown talks about this a lot in her amazing TED Talk, The Power of Vulnerability. Also goes into it in another TED Talk about shame. So I definitely recommend you watch that. But ultimately what I want to say to you is that through shame, your healing, the actual escape route is there. If there's a door, as an exit door, and instead of exit it says shame, you have to walk through that door regardless of how you're feeling, so that you can move towards some kind of healing or answers to why this is happening for you. My mission in life is to lift the lid of shame, of depression. You don't need to feel ashamed for feeling depressed. Depression is in some ways an act of celebration. It's your whole system has shut down to say, hey, you need to look at something. There's something so much far more amazing that's destined for you, but you haven't been paying attention, so I need to shut everything down so that you finally go, okay, what do I need to look at? So depression, right now depression, there's a stigma of mental illness, that you're broken, that something's wrong with you, that here we're not quite sure, take these drugs or do this method and eventually it'll just work itself out. Make it manageable until maybe it disappears or something happens. What I want you to do is put on your adventure cap and go, okay, something's happened here. Now's the time to take action. But to take action, you have to move through shame. Brene talks about shame being the fear of vulnerability. And vulnerability, she also explains, is another word for courage. When you can communicate and be open and speak to someone and say, something's not quite right, and find the person, the space, someone who is ready to listen without judgment, someone who's just ready to allow the process to come out. Because until you can start acknowledging what's there, you will be trapped in this purgatory forever. So I want you to really lift the lid off that shame. There's nothing to be ashamed about. You are amazing exactly as you are. You're feeling extremely vulnerable because there's a big question mark as to why am I here? Why am I feeling this? And that's okay. There is no good, there is no bad. So what I want you to get from this is that it's okay to feel shame, but for it to stop you from moving forward, that's when the problems happen. And so I want to give you permission to go through that door, that shame door, and be vulnerable. Find the person that you can walk through that door with and say, hey, something's not quite right. I need someone to talk to so that I can move through and out of this purgatory, this disconnection from life. And that's through the shame door. So be kind to you on this journey. There is no good, there is no bad, there just is. If you're feeling disconnected, it's okay. It's just a message. Keep moving forward and eventually you will get there to a place where you feel connected again. My name's Hayley Weatherburn. I look after self-guided empowerment, and my mission on this earth is to lift the shame and darkness from depression so that you can move forward and really live the life that depression is telling you that you can live. Thank you for listening.